been a very, very long time since I've done this. Possibly 4 years. I have not uploaded in a very long time, but I have been drifting around the booktube community and still engaging on Instagram and Twitter quite a lot, and I've recently really started rewatching videos. For a period of time I didn't watch any YouTube, and I've started again, and I love the booktube community and I love hearing people talk about books, and I miss talking about books, particularly now that I'm no longer studying. So without further ado, today I'm going to talk about my 4 fantasy finds. These are 4 books that I found just by luck. One of them is sort of a rediscovery, but yes, let's go. The first book that I want to talk about today is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Now, I have kind of heard a little bit about Robin Hobb. I own Dragon Keeper, I think it is, and I haven't read it yet. And I decided that I was going to read this whole series, and I wanted to start at the beginning, but I didn't know where to start really. I didn't know that starting Assassin's Apprentice would be starting at the beginning, so to speak. And then I walked into the break room at work, and my friend Kate was reading the first book in the trilogy, and I just knew that I had to pick it up. And at the moment I'm on a book buying ban. I'm not buying any books until I've read 10 of the ones that I own. But yesterday I was at Didcot Parkway train station, and I picked up this from the sort of second-hand bookshelf thing. There's just an honesty box. I don't view it as buying books. Maybe that's a massive loophole, or maybe I'm just making excuses, but I'm really excited to read this. I'm going to read the blurb because I'm not very good at describing books and I haven't read it yet. Fitz is a royal bastard, cast out into the world with only his magical link with animals for solace and companionship. But when Fitz is adopted into the royal household, he must give up his old ways and learn a new life. Weaponry scribing, courtly manners, and how to kill a man secretly. Meanwhile, raiders ravage the coast, leaving the people forged and soulless. As Fitz grows towards manhood, he will have to face his first terrifying mission, a task that poses as much a risk to himself as it does to his target. For Fitz is a threat to the throne, but he may also be the key to the future of the kingdom. Dun, dun, dun. It's my friend's favourite book. I've heard a lot about Robin Hobb, and since I've read The Name of the Wind and the second book in that trilogy, I have just been craving high fantasy, very storytelling, rich fantasy, so I'm hoping this will quench that thirst. Lo and behold, the second book that I have to show you is Royal Assassin, which is the second book. They did have the third book in the trilogy, but it was a massive hardback and I was travelling like 5 hours, so I decided not to get it. And yeah, this is the second book in the trilogy. I really love these editions, and I'm hoping I'll be able to find the third one as a paperback so I can have consistency, but if not, you know, whatever. I just think they're a bit exciting and a really good find, and I was so lucky to find them, and it felt like a good way to start my journey. While I was there, I also picked up Dragonlance Legends, Time of the Twins by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman, Volume 1. This is published by Penguin. For a while I was freelancing as a proofreader for science fiction and fantasy that were getting converted into ebook form for a publisher, and this looks like exactly one of the books that was being converted to ebook. I love this little mass market paperback, and it's been ages since I've foraged through like secondhand books. I haven't been able to have that liberty, and I keep buying new books. So I'm really excited to read this. I'm going to read the blurb again. One man, the powerful archmage Raistlin, intends that the darkness shall return. 2 people alone can stop him. Chrysania, a beautiful cleric of the good, and Caramon, Raistlin's twin brother, who must first understand himself before he can redeem his brother. Together with Tasselhoff, the irrepressible Kenda, the 3 of them embark on a perilous journey back through time to the days before Cataclysm. The doomed city of Istar, poised on the brink of disaster, dark magic, and darker ambition, battle with love, self-sacrifice in a quest to save not only the world, but more importantly, a soul. I think I've heard of Dragonlance and I don't know why, but I'm kind of excited to read this. It's a bit random. and I'm really loving fantasy at the moment. I just am craving it. I'm reading The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden at the moment, which is the second in, I think, the Winter Song, I think that's what it's called, trilogy. So I'm very excited to read this as one of my 10. I don't know whether I can count it as one of my 10 of the books I own, considering I acquired it during that time, but we'll see. The final book I want to talk about is a book that I already own in my parents' home, where I am at the moment, and I kind of forgot that it existed. I read the first in the series a long time ago while I was on holiday, and I picked up the second one immediately but never read it. And recently Jean mentioned another book by the same author, Jean's Bookish Thoughts. And I always find Jean's recommendations so great, and she kind of just reminded me that I had never finished this series. The book is Shadowscale by Rachel Hartman. This is a dragony book. I think this is potentially, yes, this is a US edition. I don't know how I came about it. I think I ordered it from Book Depository, possibly, before it came out in the UK. I'm not really sure, but this has been out a while now. This came out in 2015, and it is the sequel to Seraphina, which I really loved, and I'm very, very dragony at the moment. I've just read Temeraire, I never know how to pronounce it, by Naomi Novik, and that's the series that I'd like to continue, and also Jo Walton's dragon book, which its name escapes me. I'll put it here, but I'm very dragony, and last year I did NaNoWriMo and started writing a dragon story, which I'm hoping to finish before this November so I can start afresh, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm a bit dragon bingey. I think potentially the thing that put me off reading this before is that it is nearly 600 pages, but now I'm finding that I can read longer books because I'm not pressured to finish them in a certain time. I think there was a time that I would not pick up bigger books because I had that mindset of uni where I needed to finish it within a certain time. I'd love to hear your recommendations for fantasy, any books that you found in secondhand bookshops that you just picked up, such as The Time of the Twins, and whether they surprised you or disappointed you. I feel like this could go either way. I think it's always great to pick up random books and see whether you like them, because that's how we discover new things. I look forward to talking with you in the comments, and I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at these handles, pretty much the same as my YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you guys soon.